Hi, this is Frank Taylor, and I'm at Kleine Scheidegg, Switzerland. This is the last train coming down from the highest train station in Europe, the Jungfraujoch. And we're going to stay overnight here in some climbers' bunks and accommodations at this restaurant so we can get an early start to climb this mountain in the background. We're going to be doing the Rostock Via Ferrata, which is a Via Ferrata that gives you a taste of the north face of the Eiger. It's an exciting and challenging climb on one of the most iconic and what they'd call the last problem in the Swiss Alps. The north face of the Eiger is one of the most treacherous of all in the Swiss Alps and has a crazy and infamous history of people trying to tackle it. We're going to climb the Rostock. That's this section here on the north face of the Eiger that has a Via Ferrata that we will travel and pursue to the summit of this huge rock.
Right here in your backyard. You never know what you're going to find.
So we overnighted before our climb in some bunk rooms, especially for climbers above the train station. And in the evening after our dinner, we were accompanied by a wild red fox that seemed to come up after all the tourists had left and we were all alone there at this train station. Seemed to come up here to see if it could find some scraps and beg from some of the people that worked here. The next morning, after a typically Swiss hearty breakfast with cold cuts and cheese and bread and croissants and coffee and fruit, we got started leaving from the Iger station and heading out on the Iger Trail. The Iger Trail is a beautiful trail that runs from Kleine Scheidegg all the way down and back to Grindelwald, all along the north face of the Eiger. And you can look up at this infamous and notorious mountain and see this amazing mile-high rock formation. It's actually 12,000 feet to the summit, but it's got a continuous vertical mile of notorious rock to climb. As you can see, it's still early morning, and we're in the shadow of that north face of the Eiger. As we walk, we can see these amazing views of the valley underneath us, and then behind us, we peer up, looking at the Eiger, as well as finding the trail and the route that we're going to go up to summit that Rostock peak that is just to the right of the Eiger. Today I'm climbing again with my former student Julian, a great friend, and we have been adventuring together for over 10 years.
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, look. Oh.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Man, this is my favorite part.
All right, I know, right?
Oh. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's short and straight.
We're pretty excited after a 1.5 mile walk, some of it uphill, to see the start of the Via Ferrata, and we can begin to make out some of the cables and some of the ladders that are in place and see that summit that we're going to climb to way, way up on the right. That's the summit right there. We stop here and start to unload our packs and get our gear out for the Via Ferrata and take in these stunning views. Here we have one last chance to turn back, and here's our last warning sign to suggest that unless you're a mountain climber and have experience, you should be with a guide. I'll be the guide on this trip. I've actually done this Via Ferrata a number of times. Twice I've done it solo, which of course I do not recommend. Julian's the first to start up the Via Ferrata. We have Via Ferrata apparatus with the 2 carabiners on it, We have climbing harnesses and helmets to protect us from rockfall. Some of these ladders installed on this particular Via Ferrata are actually historic ladders that were placed back in the old days when they were first attempting to be the first people to ascend this mountain successfully. On this Via Ferrata, like other Via Ferratas, we follow an iron cable that's attached to the rocks at various points. There's ladders, there's sequences to figure out, there's places to rock climb. And like many Via Ferratas, it's varied terrain and many different challenges are built in. Our protection is the apparatus that we have that ties to our waist with what are like two bungee cords. This will prevent us from falling off the mountain, and if we do fall, we may fall as far as the next pin attaching the cable to the rocks, and the Via Ferrata apparatus will deploy and break our fall. There's a number of ladders placed on this beginning part of the Via Ferrata, which is essentially on vertical rock. And that's, of course, a big help to us as we move forward. In other places, there's iron pegs or iron rings or just the cable alone, and we use our hands and feet and just plain old rock climbing.
Good.
As we get higher and higher, the scenery expanse just opens up and we can look down on Kleine Scheidegg, where we started in the morning, and down into Grindelwald as well. The trail or route up to the top continues to vary. We stop at a little step of loose rock and we continue to move upward for our goal that you can see just above Julian right here. From here till we get to the summit, I'll let the video and our steps speak for themselves. Here is the last bit of climb up to the summit of the Rostock, which is at 8,737 feet or 2,663 meters. And the views there at the top were fantastic. And you can see the day was incredible. It was blue skies, clear, calm winds. As we summited, there was another group of climbers that had arrived there before us from Germany, and we together took in this incredible view all around us. We're here in the shadow of the Eiger and the Jungfrau in the Munch. We've got our traditional cross that seems to be at every summit, and we're enjoying this moment. We carefully descend on the backside, going down some steep, loose scree with the aid of some ropes as well. And we do a little bit of kind of light rappelling to get back down to the bottom where we come out at the Eiger Glacier Station. Remember, if you like my channel, please subscribe, give me a like, and leave me a comment. I love hearing from my viewers.
And remember, I cover all things nature, from frogs, toads, snakes, turtles, the myriapoda, insects, trees, wildflowers, and fungi. I cover all the things you might encounter just outside your door.
So thanks again for watching this special episode of Nature at Your Door on the road from Grindelwald, Switzerland.